expectations and your wants. So I am a senior, again, in the spirit of things. I was very underprepared for this because I'm graduating. Fuck you. Sorry if I'm a little burpy during set. I just had a hibachi dinner tonight. No, they weren't there. They just really like hibachi. Yeah, no, hibachi chefs are awesome though. I've always wanted to be friends with a hibachi chef, but I'm worried that he'd know, or yeah, they would know that I'm just friends with them because they're a hibachi chef. I'd be like, yo man, you wanna hang out tonight? And he'd be like, oh yeah, game's on, yeah, friendship. And I'd be like, oh yeah, we can do the game, but like, oh I bought all this raw shrimp. And a full-size hibachi grill, what am I gonna do? It's more than a chef, it's a person too. Slope J was fun, huh? Slope J is the best day of the year, unless like you sunburn easily, you can't hold your drinks, you don't really like large crowds, you have to take a shit in the porta potty at some point, you have to find your friends on the slope. You don't really like the act. If any of those are true, it's just like the worst day of the year. So much work goes into Slope Day, and like, let's just take a second and like appreciate everybody that works on it. There's probably some of the students here who are working behind the scenes. Let's give it up for them. Apparently very strong, very large turkeys that sacrifice their lives so that we can live out our Viking fantasies of just like tearing meat off a turkey leg and pounding a beer. And of course, the man of the hour, you know, he deserves to have his name up in lights. It wouldn't be Slope Day without him. You know, he's up and coming from the underground scene. I think we took a pretty big chance on him, but I think it paid off. Tito of Tito's Handmade Vodka. You pulled through, man. You pulled through. You made Slope Day, Slope Day. Oh yeah, there was so much work though. Like a couple days before they were setting up, I saw a rental truck like setting up a tent, and it's like Taylor's Rentals. And then in Comic Sans, they switched fonts for some reason. The fun is in the tents. What does that mean? Like, are the tents themselves just extra fun? Like, have fun in the tents, they go, yeah, we're gonna put it in the tents, and then it'll be extra fun tents. The fun is in the tents. Like, I mean, I've done things in tents, I've done things not in tents, but I feel like if it was fun or not was not determined by whether there was a tent above me. I've never been like, oh, I'm so sheltered right now! Yeah, you can't touch me! It's just not how it works. Explain me this. If you get sprayed with a fire hose and your shirt's like see-through and you have what's known as a hot bod, that's like sexy, right? That's like, ooh, see-through shirt, yeah. But if you just sweat through your shirt until it's equally wet, people are like, oh, don't touch me. Explain me this. Why is it called a pineapple? I feel like whoever named the pineapple just didn't know what an apple was. He was like, oh yeah, apples. The big cylindrical things that have little sticks, but this one has green coming out of it. It's a pineapple. So, thanks for the explanation. Any other seniors out there? Seniors? Yeah. And you guys, now let me hear, who knows what they're doing after graduation? That'd be small. Who has a job? All right. Who's going to grad school because you're afraid of the real world? Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. Now, who's a worthless piece of scum that like has no direction, no dreams, and no job? Yeah, my people. I found you at last. Like, I'm not worried about what's going to happen after graduation, and for like no reason either. I have no reason to not be worried, but I'm not. Like, it's going to be hard going to the real world, but like when I'm faced with conflict, if somebody's like yelling at me, I've got a great defense mechanism. I look them in the eye, I forget what words are, and then I cry. Job interviews have been going great. Yeah, it's crazy though, like these last 4 years, it's been a great time, you know, but like, I mean, who's senior? Have you had fun the last 4 years? No. Oh, not you. A senior from over here. Somebody say they had fun. It doesn't matter if you're lying to me. Life is a lie. But yeah, like, I mean, people are always like, oh, I've had fun, I wouldn't change a thing. And that's bullshit. I would change so many things. I have made so many mistakes. I threw up in my bed once. That was inconvenient. I don't want that to happen again. Like, if I could go back in time and change that mistake, I would slap the shot out of my hand, spray me with a water bottle because I was a cat then. Like, I mean, freshman year, I went to like half of slope day because I went to class the other half of slope day. I wasn't even drunk. I went to the class the first half of slope day because I'm fucking cool. And I would change that. I would go to all of slope day. I rented for Pam Johnson for a year. That was the biggest mistake. If I could change anything, I would change that one. I would rent from somebody who was a human being, and not the spawn of Satan, who steals my security deposit to like finish her giant terrace leading down to the lake on her lakeside home so her designer dogs can make it down without getting hip dysplasia. I know that cleaning company is fake, Pam. It's not a real cleaning company. You're just sending a bill to yourself. I'm angry. College is a weird time though, because like we all live in really expensive housing that we just never clean. Like, I've never seen a college student with a fully stocked like cleaning supplies closet, and if you have, stay away from them. I think they're a serial killer. Like, I mean, it probably doesn't help that we throw so many parties. It's always such a pain to clean up after parties, because like, you either have to get really like inventive and be like, towel, bam, stick, mop. You have to like actually do what I did this morning, get down on your hands and knees with a bucket and a brush and scrub the floors like Cinderella. Rats and everything. I tried to sing a duet with them, but they were rats. That's how it goes sometimes. No, but like one time, a friend of mine had a party for one of the groups that we were in. It was an after party, and the only condition was that we had to have people come over to clean up the day after. And so I was like, yes, perfect, it's fine, I'll come clean up. And I came to clean up, and the only thing available to clean with after a party was a roll of paper towels and a bottle of Windex. And I was like, perfect, because your whole house is a window. I took Chinese for fun this year because I'm a relatable person who's not a nerd. And it was a lot of fun, actually. Like, the discussion sections were always entertaining because the way it works is you memorize this dialogue, you do the dialogue, and then the teacher's asking questions so that you can like practice the grammatical structures, practice new vocabulary or anything like that. But what made it fun was that they did not care what like level of questions they were asking. It wasn't like, what did I just put on the table? One day we did a dialogue, and it was a very innocuous dialogue about like a figurine. It was like, oh, what kind of god is that? And it's like, oh, that's not a god, that's Confucius. How do you know that? Oh, look, he's wearing a funny hat, he's carrying a book, and he's got a big old coat on. That's Confucius. And then after we did the dialogue, the teacher just turns to me and goes, is there a god on this earth? I don't know if you've ever seen a room full of Ivy League educated people trying to debate the existence of God in a second language. I'm going to take this timeless question and approach it with the vocabulary of a 30-year-old and worse grammar. Oh, it's a nightmare. But yeah, I'm graduating in a month. Less than a month. Shut up. Death comes for herself. That's my personal motto, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, it's like, I just haven't like stopped to think about it though, because I just don't think I'm ready to think about it. I'm not gonna think about it, like after I get my diploma, I'll be like, okay, see you next fall. I'll just walk away, because like, I just don't think I can deal with all the change, and like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm bad with endings.